Alright, what's going on, everybody? We're live for Texas A&M and Texas. Game just started here. Texas with the ball first. A big game here in the SEC. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Texas, the first two plays. They actually tried a trick play in the first one. They tried to have Ryan Wingo throw it. Ended up being incomplete. And then the second play, a run for no gain. But it's a 3rd and 8 right here for Texas. 30 seconds in. On their own 27-yard line, Manning in shotgun with the back to his right. Manning going to look to throw here. And Arch Manning throws outside. That pass a little bit high, but call for a first down. And Texas moved to 6 on their first 3rd down of the day. So Texas moves to 6. And keeps the opening drive alive. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Texas A&M and Texas today. Should be a pretty good game. Texas A&M obviously still undefeated. Texas has a chance to make the playoff if some things go their way. Manning throwing this one off the hands of his receiver and incomplete. Sorry about the dog. If you guys can hear that, which I'm pretty sure you can. But there's the poll. Be sure to vote on that. I got Texas A&M 36-28. I think it'll be a close game. I think we're gonna see a lot of points scored, but I got Texas A&M. They got the clear advantage if it's a shootout. Here they set up the screen for Wingo, and he's taken down for a loss of a yard, and it makes it 3rd and 11. Here for Texas. So it's a 3rd and long. We just saw them convert a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 8, I believe. This is 3rd and 11, 2 minutes into the first quarter. Manning in shotgun, Wisner to his left. Texas A&M brings up blitz. Manning, jump pass over the middle off the hands of the receiver DeAndre Moore, and incomplete. And it brings up 4th down. So the A&M defense gets a stop on the first drive, and they'll force a punt. And they'll get the ball for their first possession. I mean, this pass should have been caught off the hands of the receiver Moore, and Texas just can't make the play. But pretty good job by Arch Manning. Off balance, delivers an accurate throw. It's got to be made by the receiver. So Texas punts it away here. Casey Concepcion, the receiver, and let this bounce. This is a great punt. It goes out of bounds at the 8-yard line, and Texas A&M backed up deep inside their own territory. But a great punt right there for Texas. And let's see what Marcel Reed and the Texas A&M offense can do for their first possession here. 12:50 to go in the first quarter. Marcel Reed on the season, 250 passing yards per game, 25 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, also 6 rushing scores. He's had a really nice season. I wouldn't necessarily say he's in the Heisman conversation, but he's not out of it. And if he puts up big numbers tonight and next week in the SEC championship game, he can definitely get himself right there. Potentially a trip to the Heisman ceremony. Look to throw here for the first time. And Reed's got time and tries to step up and run. And he's taken down pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. So it's a 2nd and 8. They'll actually give Reed 2 on the scramble. Reed in shotgun back to his right from their own 9. Bring receiver in motion. And Reed sets up the screen for Mario Craver. And Craver getting to the outside. Craver's got a first down. He's swung out of bounds after a gain of about 10. Mario Craver, an insane start to the year. His pace has obviously slowed down a little bit because it was never going to be possible for him to keep that pace, but still having a really nice season. We'll pull up his numbers. On the year, he's got 781 yards, 4 scores on 47 catches. So Reed in shotgun here from their own 19. Reed to throw once again. And he steps in one over the middle. That pass going to be caught for a gain of about 5. There's Casey Concepcion with his first catch. He's another guy having a really nice year for Texas A&M. He's actually their leading receiver with 589 yards and 9 scores. And he's also brought a punt back for a touchdown. Might have brought 2 back for a touchdown. I'm not sure. I'll have to check in a second. With 2nd and 4 here, Reed going to run it here on the option. He's hit hard and dropped pretty much at the line of scrimmage. And it brings up 3rd down. Yeah, Casey Concepcion's brought 2 back. I can remember the one against LSU. I don't remember the other. But he's a very dangerous return guy as well. So 3rd and 4. Texas A&M converting 42% of 3rd downs. That is 10th best in the SEC, so not great. But 3rd and 4 for Texas A&M on their own 25-yard line. Reed in shotgun with the back to his left. Texas brings just 3. Reed has time, throws over the middle behind his receiver, and incomplete. Trying to get it to Mario Craver. And the Texas defense can force a punt. But a pretty similar opening drive for each team. Both teams pick up a first down, gain 15 to 20 yards. And then the drive stalls, and it's forced to punt. So Texas A&M to punt it away. Texas will get the ball back. A good first drive for their defense, which has not been playing too well. They've given up at least 30 in 4 straight games. So the punt is away here. And this is a shorter kick, going to bounce at the 46. And then take a Texas A&M roll down to about the 36. But scoreless after 1 possession each. 0-0, and Texas getting the ball back with 10-12 to go in the first quarter. See some other games we got going on right now. We got another top 3 team playing. We got Indiana playing against Purdue right now. That game shouldn't be that close. That game just 3 minutes in. I think I took Indiana 52-7 or 52-14 in that game. Then we also saw Georgia beat Georgia Tech 16-9. We saw Ole Miss destroy Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl. And Utah beat Kansas by 10. Those are some of the ranked games. There's a few more games. Boise State and Utah State. A 1-point game. Minute 25 to go there. Boise State will get to 8-4. Utah State's currently 6-5. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. I took Texas A&M to win this game by a score of 36-28, I believe. Let me check real quick. I think that was the score. Let's see here. I just made this video this morning, and now I can't remember. Although I did that part the other day. Yeah, 36-28. I took Texas A&M. But game scoreless after a drive each. And we wait for them to come back from commercial with 10-12 to go in the first quarter. That was officially a 39-yard punt from Texas A&M. Hey, how's it going? But we still wait for them to come back from commercial here. Be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. Sorry if my mic just made a noise. I accidentally punched it. Just trying to bring my hands around it. Alright, but we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Texas is going to get the football for their second possession. Alright, here we go. Here, Manning to throw on their first play. And this pass, throw to the outside, incomplete. Broken up very nicely on the outside. Trying to get it to Parker Livingstone. The corner actually turns his head around. He might have a pick. But still to break it up. So 2nd and 10. Handoff to the right side for Wisner. And he doesn't have much space. Maybe a yard or two. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. So a 3rd and 8 here. Manning and shotgun with the back to his right. On their own 37-yard line. Or sorry, 38-yard line. 9:30 to go in the first quarter. Manning looks to throw here. Gonna take a shot down the field. Wants Wingo, and that pass incomplete. A little bit overthrown. Texas wanted a flag. His hand was held a little bit. Let's see. A little bit of a pull. I like the no call, though. But it brings up 4th and 8. And a quick 3 and out for Texas. Fair catch called for here at the 14. That is where A&M will take over for their second possession. Alright, okay, the Eagles let you down. I was glad to see the Eagles lose. But I saw back-to-back losses for the Eagles, so very interesting. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Didn't really watch much of that game. I saw a few plays here and there, but I was more watching Georgia and Georgia Tech. Well, that game was not too great. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Texas A&M getting the ball back. Be sure to vote in the excuse me. Be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Texas A&M can get the ball for their second possession. 3 drives, 3 punts so far. Boise State is now beating Utah State 25-24. Indiana Purdue still scoreless. They're 6 minutes in right there. I watched a little bit of Georgia game. I saw some of it. What I saw, not too great. Well, a lot of field goals. Stockton didn't look good. He wasn't great. Only threw for like 70 yards. Let's see. Yeah, he threw for 70 yards, a touchdown, and interception. I mean, he ran for 42 yards, but yeah, he was nothing impressive. Alright, so we're back from commercial here. I took Texas A&M. I took them 36-28. And Texas A&M going to run it here for the first time. And it's a pretty good run to the right side. They get a good push, gain 5. We've got Ruben Owens right there. Yeah, number 4. So it's 2nd and 5. Okay, and I'm 28-16. Okay, yeah, I could see that. So 2nd and 5. Reed looks to throw here. 3-man rush from Texas. Plenty of time. And he'll just try to check it down, but he bounces it to Owens, and it's incomplete. Yeah, I did end up going on the higher scoring side. Obviously, 36-28 is quite the shootout, but definitely think it could be a little bit lower. So 3rd and 5 from the 20. Reed and shotgun back to his left. But the running back in motion here from their own 20-yard line. Reed looks to throw. Reed gets pressure, throws that pass, incomplete. And another stop here, another 3 and out. But a very similar start for both teams. This pass almost caught, but it goes through his hands, hits him in the helmet, and unable to hold on. So A&M punted away again. Ryan Niblett back deep to receive. Dangerous returner. I believe he's got 2 return touchdowns in the year for Texas. This is a good kick. Drives him back to the 32. And Niblett makes the catch here. And break a tackle across the 40. Still on his feet. He stumbles his way up to the 48-yard line. But there's a flag down. So let's see the call. We got an illegal block in the back going against Texas, so wipes off the pretty good return. So Texas with the football here. 8:12 to go in the first quarter. Both teams got about 15 yards in their first drive, then went 3 and out. So Texas begins on their own 27-yard line. Manning and shotgun. C.J. Baxter lined up behind him. Technically, that's the pistol. Manning looks to throw here. Throws that pass. Going to be caught for, looks like a first down. Tight end Andrews makes the catch. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And they will move the sticks right there. So Manning in the pistol. And they hand it off here. Baxter, he's going nowhere. Lost a 2 on the play. And it's 2nd and long. C.J. Baxter goes nowhere in his first carry. And it brings up 2nd and 12. So 2nd and 12, they give it back to him. And Baxter, this time positive yardage, will get about 4. And it's very quickly 3rd and 8. So 3rd down here for Texas. They converted their first 3rd down with their 1 for 3. Manning to throw here, given time, lots of it. Takes a shot way downfield, and that pass broken up. Wanted Ryan Wingo got double covered by Texas A&M, and it's broken up 4th and 9. And another punt coming from Texas. So the punt is away. And this one is, oh wow, fielded on the bounce. That probably wasn't a smart decision because we definitely go to the end zone. And it's returned to the 13. So that decision to field that probably cost him about 7 yards. But A&M with the ball back. And a punting contest to start this game. But both defenses playing well. I mean, these are 2 great defenses. I mean, although it's interesting because Texas, their defense not playing too well. They've allowed 30 in 4 straight games, or at least 30 in 4 straight games. And Texas A&M's defense hasn't been great on the road. Because on the road this year, they allowed 40 to Notre Dame. They allowed 42 to Arkansas, 25 to LSU, and 17 to Missouri. That's 31 points per game allowed on the road. But I mean, obviously, this is a very good Texas A&M defense. And I mean, even when their defense doesn't play well, they can simply just outscore you, like we've seen them do against Arkansas and Notre Dame. But we wait for them to come back from commercial break here. See some scores. Let's see Indiana, Purdue. Well, Indiana's taking the lead there, 7-0, halfway through the first quarter. They scored on a 1-yard touchdown from Kalen Black. Indiana's also getting the ball back there. They just forced a punt. Yeah, that game shouldn't be that close. It was 66-0 last year. I think I took Indiana 52-7, maybe 52-14. But I don't expect that game to be very close. Let's see. Indiana, yeah, 52-14. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial break. We'll see what A&M can do for this offensive possession. So far in this game, Texas 24 yards, Texas A&M 23. 2 first downs for Texas, 1 for Texas A&M. But lots of punts so far. We've seen 5 drives, 5 punts. Arch Manning 3 of 19 or 3 of 9. Wow, 3 of 19 would be terrible. 3 of 8 for 19 yards. Marcel Reed is 2 of 5 for 16 yards. Neither quarterback's gotten off to a great start either. So they go to the ground here with Texas A&M. Ruben Owens gets the carry. And he'll gain 4 on first down. So 2nd and 6. Reed in shotgun at the back to his right. 5:45 to go in the opening quarter. Reed looks to throw. And throws that pass. Going to be caught by Concepcion. He gets a block on the outside. Trying to turn the corner. Tiger ropes the sidelines out of bounds right there. At about the 35. A pretty dangerous throw right there from Marcel Reed. But Casey Concepcion even make the play. And break free. And get some yards after the catch. And that pass really could have gotten picked. So it's a 1st and 10. Up to the 34-yard line after that play. They bring Craver in motion. And Reed off play action. Throws over the middle of that pass too high. And incomplete. Trying to get it to Terry Bussey. Marcel Reed tonight 3 of 7 for 33 yards. .501 to go in the first quarter. Reed in shotgun, Owens the back to his left. From their own 34-yard line, it's 2nd and 10. Play clock winding down here. We'll get the play off. And Reed, delayed quarterback run. He's got a lot of space. Marcel Reed inside Texas territory. And he's out of bounds at the 47-yard line. I don't know if that was a designed run. Or if he just ran that very quickly. No, that was a designed run. But a nice run right there from Marcel Reed. And it's the first time either side has gotten the ball into opposing territory. So Reed in shotgun back to his right. Texas A&M averaging 10 explosive plays per game. 3rd best in the SEC. Reed's got time here again. He's going to step up and run. And Reed can try to get to the outside. Unable to do so, and he's wrapped up after a gain of 6. But yeah, Texas A&M 10 explosive plays per game. That is a run of at least 10 yards or a pass of at least 20. This A&M offense extremely hard to defend. And we got an injured Texas defender down on the field here. Hopefully he's okay. It's Malik Muhammad for Texas. Hopefully he's okay. But hopefully he's okay. Texas A&M right now sitting as the 3 seed in the college football playoff. A win here also puts them in the SEC championship game next week against either Alabama or Georgia. Got to imagine if A&M wins the SEC championship game, they'll move up to at least the 2 seed. Because either Indiana or Ohio State would lose in the Big Ten title game. Obviously, that's assuming Ohio State wins tomorrow and gets there. I don't even know who does make the Big Ten title game if Ohio State loses to Michigan. Is it Oregon? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. So 2nd and 4. Reed. Play action here. Throws the outside. Wide open receiver is caught by Craver. And Craver is thrown to the ground at the 25-yard line. And now we got a flag that comes in for the tackle. We got body slammed. They say after the play, it's an unnecessary roughness call against Texas. That puts A&M half the distance to the goal. Let's see, who makes the Big Ten title game if Ohio State loses? But a 1st and 10 here, 3:36 to go in the first quarter. Texas, the 2nd most penalized team in the country, 8.1 penalties per game. First time either side has gotten into the red zone here. A&M with the ball on the Texas 13. Let's see, I'll go with the Big Ten tiebreakers at the commercial. So 1st and 10 from the 13. Reed in the pistol. Owens is behind him. They bring a tight end in motion and a false start going against Texas. Going against Texas A&M. The right tackle moves early. And it backs him up 5. Be sure to vote in the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, everyone has said Texas A&M. I'd agree. So 1st and 15, Reed in shotgun back to his right. Reed pressured very quickly, tries to find Craver in the flat, and unable to do so. He got pressured really quickly. Colin Simmons with pressure. Brings up 2nd and 15. Simmons right there timed the snap perfectly without going off sides. So 2nd and 15 after the incompletion. Reed to throw right here. Steps up in the pocket. Reed gets pressure. Going to run for it, and he's tripped up. Gains just 2 on the play. Oh, Marcel Reed is hurt. That is not good. Hopefully he's okay. Marcel Reed. Oh, he didn't get tripped up. He kind of just fell himself. Looks like he rolled his left ankle. Looks like he went to go plant his left foot. And he didn't really plant, just kind of rolled over. Oh, hopefully he's okay. That'd be a huge loss. Hopefully Marcel Reed is okay. He is able to walk off the field, so that's a good sign. Kind of limps his way off the field. But I don't even know. Who's the Texas A&M backup quarterback? Marcel Reed, like, limps his way to the medical tent. And hopefully he's okay. So Miles O'Neal, the backup quarterback for Texas A&M. He's played in 7 career games, thrown 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, completed 12 of his 20 career pass attempts. Let's also see how aggressive A&M gets here. It's a new quarterback into the game. 3rd and 14. And it's going to hand it off here to Ruben Owens, trying to get to the outside. And Owens taken down for a loss. A very safe play call right there for Texas A&M. They lost yards, so it's 4th and 15. And now Ruben Owens is hurt too. Oh man, that is not good. Texas A&M already without their lead back, Le'Veon Moss, who I don't remember what happened to him. So Owens really stepped up, and now if he's hurt as well, that is not good. He missed last week's game against Samford with an injury. But here's a field goal try. Oh, it's blocked. It's blocked and it comes up short. But that pass, or that gets blocked. And that was half the line right there for Texas got through. Yeah, definitely got the block by Burke. Even if that got past him, that still might have gotten blocked. That was a low kick. But a bad sequence of plays there for Texas A&M. The injuries to Reed and Owens, and then a blocked field goal. And the game stays scoreless. Marcel Reed is overrunning on the field. Well, he actually looks pretty good. And now we got another injury. Yeah, I hope Marcel Reed's fine. Yeah, he looks okay. I mean, he looks worse walking than he does running. But yeah, hopefully he's okay. But the Texas offense back on the field. And their injured linebacker goes running off. He looks okay. But 1st and 10, minute 46 to go in the first quarter. Game still scoreless after the blocked field goal. So Manning, a designed roll to his right, and throws out of bounds. 2nd and 10. This is the Texas offense. They haven't gotten much going. Arch Manning is 3 of 9 for 19 yards. So 2nd and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Manning and shotgun with the back to his left. Bring the tight end across the formation. Manning pump fakes the screen, gets pressured. Manning runs into his own lineman, and then throws to the sideline. That pass incomplete. Trying to hit Parker Livingstone, who started to creep up the sideline. But it's incomplete, and just like that, it's 3rd and 10. A lot of 3rd and longs for Texas so far. So it's a 3rd and 10. Arch Manning now 3 of 10 for 19 yards. Manning looks to throw. Manning gets pressured, steps up, going to try to run for here. He's got space. He's got a 1st down. And he slides after a gain of 12. And Texas moves the sticks. But a nice run right there for Arch Manning. Able to navigate the pocket, step up, and have space to run. So 1st and 10, minutes to go in the first quarter. Manning in shotgun. And they set up the screen for Wingo. A high throw on the screen. And Wingo makes the guy miss, breaks another tackle. And he'll pick up about 3 on the catch and run. And we'll have one more play here in the first quarter. So it's 2nd and 8. And Manning going to keep this here on the option. And another 3, maybe 4 yards for Texas. And that'll likely take us to the second quarter. Be a 3rd and 5 for Texas. I mean, they still have 15 seconds. Maybe they snap this, but they don't have to. Let's see if they do. Manning in shotgun with the back to his right on their own 37. Yeah, they're going to let this go to the second quarter. So scoreless at the end of 1. Texas with the football, and they have a 3rd and 5. Both defenses look really good in the first quarter. Obviously, Texas A&M does have that good drive, but then they have a field goal get blocked. But 0-0, end of 1. But both defenses look great. Some stats from that first quarter: 84 total yards for Texas A&M, 41 for Texas. Marcel Reed, 4 of 9, 47 yards. Also ran it 5 times for 29 yards. Although, obviously, we don't know if he's coming back in or not. Got hurt. Arch Manning, 4 of 11, 21 yards. Got 2 carries for 15 yards. Neither team's really been too great. Let's see, Indiana and Purdue, that is still 7-3. Actually, that is now 7-3. Last we just saw it was 7-0. Fernando Mendoza's gotten off to a tough start there. He's just 2 of 7 for 24 yards. That game about to end the first quarter as well. Alright, let's see. I was talking about this before. Let's see the Big Ten championship game scenarios. What happens if Ohio State loses? Okay, so here we go. Ohio State, if they beat Michigan, they're in the Big Ten title game. If they lose to Michigan, and Indiana and Oregon lose, Ohio State is still in the Big Ten title game. And if they lose to Michigan, and Indiana and Oregon win, then they're in the Big Ten title game. Okay, but what happens if Indiana wins and Oregon loses? So there is 4 different teams who can make the championship game. Wow, there's a chance we get Michigan and Ohio State again. How would that be possible? So that Michigan would beat Ohio State, Purdue would need to upset Indiana, and Washington would upset Oregon. And we get Michigan and Ohio State again next week. Let's see. Alright. So Ohio State will make it with a win. Indiana makes it with a win. But if Ohio State loses, they would need some upsets. And Oregon would be the next team in. And then for the SEC, there's Obviously, if A&M wins tonight, they're in. And they'll likely play Alabama if they win tomorrow, although that's not a guarantee in the Iron Bowl. We start the second quarter here. Manning gets pressured, steps up, has space to run, and dives ahead for a gain of 8 and another first down for Texas. So 2 third down conversions on this drive. 2 runs by Arch Manning. Let me just pull up these SEC scenarios right now. Alright, then I'll go over them next commercial. So first and 10 from the 45. Manning, play action, quick throw to the outside for the tight end injuries, and he makes the catch, gain of 7. It's been a much better looking drive for Texas after offense not looking great in their first few. Really starting to move the football here. So Manning in the pistol, back behind him. And they hand it off. Wisner makes a man miss in the backfield and makes a cut, breaks a tackle. He's got a first down, gets it to the A&M 40. And Texas inside opposing territory for the first time. That was a nice run right there for Wisner. Made a man miss, broke a tackle. Nice play. So first and 10 here. 8-play, 40-yard drive for Texas. Manning, play action. Going to take a shot. Down the sideline. That pass broken up. Nice defensive play. That pass knocked away. And it's 2nd and 10. I also just bit my tongue when I said that. They're trying to get it to the receiver Mosley. And this is a really nice job. I'm not sure who that is, but he's able to turn around, locate the ball, and just knock it away. Here they go back to the ground here. Wisner makes a man miss, lowers the shoulder, and gains 15. Another nice run for Trey Wisner, and a first down for Texas. The starts for these teams have been so similar. And both teams just punt, and then A&M's got a good drive, now Texas has a good drive. But it's first and 10 here from the 27-yard line. And Manning, quick throw to the outside here, but he misses him. Throws it at his ankles. And it's 2nd and 10. Trey Wisner ran for 186 yards last year against Texas A&M. That's his career high. He's run it 4 times for 25 yards today. They give it to him here straight at the middle. And this time not as much space. We'll gain 4. And it brings up 3rd and 6 here for Texas. We've already seen them convert 2 third downs on this drive. Both of them runs by Arch Manning. This is a 3rd and 6. 12:25 to go in the first half. Texas 3 of 6 on 3rd down today. Ball on the A&M 23. Manning in shotgun with the back to his right. A&M brings 5. Manning has time, and that pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it's incomplete. The A&M defense gets a stop. Oh, that's a nice play by the defender. Arch Manning got him to jump in the air. And then he tried to throw it. But it still got knocked down. That's actually a nice play by the defender. So Mason Shipley to attempt a 41-yard field goal here for Texas. He's 16 of 20 on the year. We just saw A&M get a field goal blocked. But here is Texas from 41. And this one is just going to get in there. It is good. So Texas gets on the board first. 18 minutes into the game. And Texas leads 3-0. I mean, it has really been a similar start for each team. Both teams, lots of punts, Then both teams settle for a field goal try. Obviously, A&M has theirs blocked, and Texas makes it. But it's actually crazy how similar the starts have been. But Texas A&M going to get the ball back, and now we'll see if Marcel Reed comes onto the field or not. Obviously, missed the last play of the last drive with an injury. Looks like a left ankle injury, but he looks okay. He's moving around on the sideline. But we'll see if he's good to go. But hopefully Marcel Reed is okay. And hopefully he comes back onto the field here. But we'll find out in a couple minutes. Alright, let's see. I was looking for the SEC tiebreakers and clinching scenarios before, not really tiebreakers. So Texas A&M, they make the SEC title game with a win. Alabama makes the SEC title game with a win. Georgia is in with a... Obviously, they already won, so they're in with a loss by either A&M or Alabama. And then Ole Miss is also still alive in that race. Obviously, they won today. They beat Mississippi State. And they're in with losses by Alabama and Texas A&M. And then it would be Ole Miss, Georgia. But, I mean, the SEC tiebreaker is a little bit more straightforward than the Big Ten. Indiana-Purdue is still 7-3, though Indiana's in the red zone on the Purdue 7-yard line. Oh, now they just scored. A 7-yard touchdown run from Fernando Mendoza. And Indiana's about to go up 14-3. 10:30 to go in the first half there. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Actually, now they got back, right as I said that. And I'm going to get the ball back after the game's first points. A field goal from Texas. It's a 41-yarder. And Marcel Reed's got his helmet on. It looks like he's going to come back into this game. That is definitely good news for Texas A&M. The kickoff is away, and it's going to be brought back here from about the 3-yard line. And on the return, we'll bring it back to the 25. And that is where Marcel Reed and the Texas A&M offense will take over. So yeah, Marcel Reed is coming back onto the field. So we missed the last play. So Marcel Reed back on the field here. Looks to be okay. Obviously his mobility might be limited a little bit, but a good passer as well. So 1st and 10. Reed looks to throw here. Has time. Delivers an accurate pass to the tight end. I don't know who that is. Number 17. Gain of 12 and a first down for Texas A&M. So 1st and 10 from the 37. Reed hands off. Ruben Owens left side, so he's also back on the field. After he also got hurt last drive. And he gains 5. I forget what the injury was for Ruben Owens, but I know he missed last week's game. Let me look it up real quick. Never mind. Can't find it. What I looked at just said undisclosed. Very helpful. Here Owens gets it straight ahead, and he'll gain 3, and make it 3rd and 2. Reuben Owens just had a leg injury, so nobody really wants to specify. That's what he was battling coming into the game. He wasn't on the injury report, was good to go. But it's a 3rd and 2 here for Texas A&M. They're 0 for 3 on 3rd down. On their own 45-yard line. 3 receivers bunched to the left side. And Reed can hand it off here. Owens to the right side. Has a first down. Still on his feet. Stumbles at the 45. Well, if he didn't stumble, he might be gone. He had a lot of space. Just couldn't stay on his feet. But a big run, or a good run there for Owens. Could have been bigger. But still to pick up the first down. Reed looks to throw here. Taking a deep shot downfield. His receiver got tackled. And there's a flag that comes in. KC Concepcion was the target. He was on the ground by the time the ball was like halfway to him. And it looks like it's going to be a pass interference call here going against Texas. I mean, I guess there's a chance that it just got tangled up and there's actually not an interference call. Let's see. I mean, he kind of... I don't know. It's really hard to tell from that angle exactly what happens, but I do think that is probably the right call. So 1st and 10 from the 30. A&M was not ready for the snap. Reed is going to run it here. Testing out the ankle. He looks fine. Reed's going to pick up 12 and a first down. I don't know if that was by design, that nobody else moved, or if that was unintentional, and they were just not ready for the snap. I'm going to say that was not intentional because I don't really know if you would run Marcel Reed right there in that situation. I think he just kind of made the most of the situation. But maybe that was because, I mean, they gained 13. Ball on the 17-yard line here. Reed in shotgun with the back to his left. Reed hands it off, right side, and not much space. Maybe a yard. Morrow with the carry right there, number 23. So it brings up 2nd down and about 9 for Texas A&M. 8:20 to go in the first half. Reed in shotgun, Morrow to his left. Reed hands off again. Morrow cuts up the middle, and he swung around and swung down after getting 3. So it makes it 3rd and 5. Actually, 3rd and 7. They're only giving him 2 on that play. I thought he got a little bit more than that. So 3rd down and 7, halfway through the second quarter. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Ball on the 15. First down is inside the 7-yard line. And A&M false start. She was going to back him up 5. Second time we see them false start in the red zone. Again, it's on the right side of the offensive line. This time it's the right guard. The other time it's the tackle. But it's now 3rd and 12. It's the second penalty against A&M. Both of them false starts. So 3rd down and 12. From the 19-yard line, Reed in shotgun to the back to his right. Reed going to look to throw. Reed has time. Throws underneath that pass behind Craver, but he makes the catch. And he's still well short of a first down. Actually, that was not Kraber. That was number 3. Maybe that's Bussy? I'm not sure. And now he's hurt, though, grabbing his lower right leg towards his ankle. Hopefully he's okay. I mean, lots of injuries so far in this game. Oh, that's Ashton Bethel Roman. Number 3, the injured player for Texas A&M. Hopefully he's okay. But a lot of injuries so far in this game. Obviously, most players we've seen get hurt are back on the field, but hopefully Bethel Roman's okay here. Had a nice game last week, I believe, against Samford. Well, I mean, it's hard to not have a nice game against Samford. But a gain of 6 on the play. And on the year, he had 442 yards and 5 touchdowns, although in just 18 catches. Last week, he had 2 catches, 61 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the week before against South Carolina, he had 4 for 139, and also found the end zone. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Hopefully, the injured player is okay. And what can be a field goal try here for Texas A&M, although their kicking situation isn't great. We saw them have a field goal get blocked before. So definitely something to watch. Again, be sure to vote on the poll if you guys have not already done so. So far, it's 50-50. I took Texas A&M in this game. I thought it'd be a lot higher scoring, but there's still plenty of time for the scoring to pick up as well. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. It's going to be a 4th down for Texas A&M. Ooh, that doesn't look great. Hopefully he's okay. Ashton Bethel Roman, that is. But it will be a field goal try here for Texas A&M. They had one blocked before and try to tie the game here. This is a 31-yard field goal from the right hash. And this one is up, and this one's good. So Texas A&M able to tie the game at 3. And they answer the field goal from Texas we just saw. We'll see how Texas responds after the field goal. Game now tied at 3 with 6:41 to go in the first half. This is a shorter kickoff. It's ball to one of the up men. He's able to make the catch and return it to the 35. Not sure what the strategy of doing that is. But Texas starts at the 35. But Arch Manning and the Texas offense, pretty good field position for this drive. So Manning in shotgun, Baxter is the back to his right. Manning play action, throws outside for Wingo. That pass, oh wow, almost picked off. Off the deflection, it goes off his hand. A little bit of a wide throw from Arch Manning. So 2nd and 10. And they're going to go to the ground here. Baxter up the middle. Going to pick up about 4. And bring up 3rd and 6. So it's a very quick 3rd down here for Texas. With 6:15 to go in the first half. So 3rd and 6, Manning gonna look to throw. Arch Manning gets pressure, rolls right, throws back across the field, call for a 1st down. Jack Endry, the tight end, makes the catch at the Texas A&M 49. And Texas with a third down conversion, although we got a flag thrown though. So hold on. Yeah, and this one's gonna come back, a hold going against Texas. So wipe off the conversion, and instead make it 3rd and 16, I think. That was 3rd and 6. I mean, that was a nice play by Arch Manning, though. Even though it did get called back. It would escape the pocket, go for an accurate throw on the run. And it's a good thing that was an accurate throw, because that was a tight window. So 3rd and 16. Manning looks to throw. Steps up. Manning gets pressured. Floats one downfield, incomplete. Got hit right there trying to get to Wingo. And it's 4th and 16. So the A&M defense gets a stop. Fourth and 16, Texas will punt it away. And they shift the formation here on the punt. So the punt is away. And Concepcion fields it at the 29. Makes a man miss, breaks another tackle. Now he's got space. Casey Concepcion crosses midfield inside Texas territory, cutting to the outside, and his shirt's held on to, which slows him down. Then he's able to fall down at the 44-yard line. But a big return right there for KC Concepcion sets Texas A&M up in great field position for their next drive. That was a huge return. Could have been even further if he was able to break through that final tackle. But I mean, this is a big return. He makes 2 guys miss right away. And then he's got a lot of space. And it's Burke who grabs onto his undershirt. But if he's able to break that tackle, he might be gone. But Texas A&M with great field position here. 5:11 to go in the first quarter. KC Concepcion is 4th best in the country with 20.4 yards per punt return. That's really good, actually. I mean, 4th best in the country is quite good. So 1st and 10 here, 5 minutes till halftime. Ball on the Texas 42. Reed looks to throw. Reed throws the flat for Owens, and he makes a man miss, and his knee might have gone down. And yeah, they will blow that dead. Yeah, definitely. His elbow's on the ground, or might be as well. So 2nd and 9, just a 1-yard pickup there for Texas A&M. Marcel Reed is 7 of 12, 66 yards. He's also run for 42. So 2nd and 9, they bring Craver in motion and hand it to him on the jet sweep. They got some blockers. Craver runs into one of them, and he's going to only pick up 3. So 3rd down and 8. A&M outgaining Texas 138 to 85. But the game tied at 3, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Could be 4-down territory depending on how much you get here. Reed in shotgun, Texas shows blitz. Bring a receiver in motion, and Texas sends the blitz. Reed gets pressured, steps up in the pocket. Reed going to try to run. He's taken down by the ankles after getting about 3, but he's right back up on his feet. Looks fine. Obviously, he did have that ankle injury before, but he's moving around perfectly fine. And even after he gets hit right there, he's right back up on his feet. But it's 4th and 5. A&M still with the offense out there. And I mean, I like the decision. How bad the kicking situation is for them, you got to go for this. So it's 4th and 5. 3:05 to go in the first half. Reed in shotgun back to his left. They will snap it. Reed looks to throw. Quick throw. Call for a first down. Mario Craver makes the catch. A gain of 6 getting into the 30-yard line. And A&M moves to 6 on 4th down. A quick throw to Craver on the slant. And it's a first down for Texas A&M. Good call to go for that, yeah, for sure. So 1st and 10 here. Potentially one more play before the 2-minute warning. Ball on the 30. Reed in the pistol, turns around and hands off to Ruben Owens, and he gets hit hard at the line of scrimmage for no gain. But we reached the 2-minute warning here in the first half. The game's still tied at 3. And Texas A&M with the ball at the Texas 30. By the way, I also just saw Ashton Bethel-Rowan back on the field. He left the game before with an injury for Texas A&M. He's back out there, so that's good to see. By the way, Indiana-Purdue is now 21-3. Indiana leads. Black ran for his 2nd touchdown. He's now run it 7 times for 52 yards and 2 scores. But Indiana's up 21-3, 3:40 to go in the first half of that game. We've got one more game today. That is Arizona and Arizona State. That game starts, I was just about to say 9 o'clock, but it is 9 o'clock. So within the next couple minutes, I took Arizona State in that game, 26-24. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. But we got 2 minutes left in the first half. I believe each team still has all 3 timeouts as well. But game tied at 3. Ball on the Texas 30. We've got it 2nd and 10. How long is this commercial break? I feel like we've been here for forever. Alright, now they're back. But we got 2 minutes left in the first half. Game tied at 3. 2nd and 10. Reed in shotgun. Owens to his right. Reed looks to throw. Throws underneath, caught by Craver. And he breaks a tackle and close to a first down to pick up 9. So 3rd and short for Texas A&M. Clock is running. 1:35 to go in the first half. A&M 1 for 6 on 3rd down. So Reed in shotgun with the back to his right. 3 receivers bunched to the right side. Reed hands, nope, play action, throwing to the outside, that pass. Wow, tight window throw is caught by KC Concepcion down to the 9-yard line. Man, what a throw right there by Marcel Reed. Man, that was a tight window to throw that ball into, but he got it there. And we also have a timeout called here by, I believe, Texas A&M. But it could be Texas, too, if they want to save themselves some time. So, yeah, I believe that was called by A&M. Let me check. So it wouldn't really make a ton of sense for Texas to use a timeout right there. Alright, this still isn't updated. It still says we're at the 2-minute warning. So I don't know. I'd imagine Texas A&M, though. But we still wait for them, or we wait for them to come back from commercial. Oh, this actually says Texas timeout. A timeout here for Texas doesn't make a ton of sense, though. There's still 1:11 left. And it's a first down for Texas A&M. Unless you're expecting it to score quickly. Using a timeout right there doesn't make a ton of sense. At least, I don't think so. By the way, Arizona and Arizona State is now kicked off. Arizona State got the ball first there. Alright, but we still wait for them to come back from commercial. After the timeout from, I believe, Texas. So far, results in the poll, 56% of guys said Texas will win, 44% have said Texas A&M. Again, be sure to vote if you have not already done so. Alright, I just got this notification. Vikings make quarterback decision. Head coach Kevin O'Connell's made his call. JJ McCarthy made his call with JJ McCarthy been in concussion protocol all week. It doesn't even make sense. He didn't even have a choice. Because McCarthy can't play because he's not going to clear the protocol in time. That's very confusing. But they're finally back from commercial. It is a 1st and goal here for Texas A&M. Reed in the pistol. In shotgun. Owens to his left. Ball on the 9-yard line. Reed hands it off here. Owens straight ahead. And he dives ahead for a gain of 4. So it was Texas who used the timeout. I have no idea why. Actually, they're using more timeouts, so... Alright, it does make more sense now that they call a second timeout. But I was going to say, I have no idea why, especially if they're not using one here. Because the clock continued to run for a few seconds, but I'd imagine they're going to put one, or more than one, but a few seconds back on the clock. There's a guy in Texas whose name is January. I've never seen that one before. But it's a 2nd and goal. Looks like they don't put any time back on the clock. So this is 1:02. Unless Texas waited 5 seconds to get the timeout in. Which would make no sense. But it's 2nd and goal here. 1:02 to go in the first half. 3 timeouts for Texas A&M. 1 for Texas. They're Reed in shotgun. Concepcion goes in motion. They hand it to him on the sweep. Gets a block on the outside. Makes a man miss. Cuts up field and scores. KC Concepcion scores the game's first touchdown. And A&M takes their first lead of the day. And they're up 9, about to be 10-3 here before halftime. It is an 8-yard touchdown run for KC Concepcion. With 56 seconds left here in the first half. A 9-play, 42-yard drive. That took 4:15 off the clock. I got set up by the great punt return. And that ball definitely breaks the plane. Before his knee hits the ground. That's a touchdown. So 56 seconds left in the first half. So I don't know if that made any noise. The wire on my mic fell. I had it propped up so I don't kick it, but I just left it on the hanging down below now. Alright, so it does move, if it moves. Or it does make noise, I should say. The extra point is up and good, so it's now 10-3. It's Texas A&M leads Texas. So 56 seconds left in the first half. Oh man, they showed this again. What a block right here from Ruben Owens. And got a huge block right there to really seal the corner. And I mean, Concepcion did have to make a guy miss. But that was a huge block. We got 56 seconds left in the first half. We'll have to see what Texas can do here to respond. So they wanted to try to put a drive together. Obviously, they called their timeouts not for nothing. So let's see what they do. Another short kickoff here from Texas A&M. It's fielded at the 20-yard line, taken down right there. Maybe the 22. So 52 seconds. Oh, okay, that makes more sense now that I think about that. And I put captions on, so I kind of understand what they're saying. They just don't want to kick the ball to Ryan Niblett, which makes sense. Although, you could just kick the ball to the end zone, unless your kicker can't reach, which he should be able to. But let's see here. Manning going to look to throw here. Throws the outside. And checks down for Wisner. He'll gain 8 yards before he's out of bounds. Stopping clock with 48 seconds left. But let's see what Texas can do here before halftime. They got 48 seconds now. And a timeout to work with. It's not going to be easy to kick. A lot of wind there. Very windy day. I'm checking the career long for their kicker as well. But Manning to throw here on 2nd and 2. Gets pressured, steps up, has space to run. And he'll dive across the 40 to the 41. Let's see. Gotta find the Texas kicker. But 1st and 10 here for Manning. Again, he's got time. Throws underneath. That pass is caught by DeAndre Moore, his first catch. And he's taken down inbounds. And Steve Sarkisian calls timeout with 33 seconds left. DeAndre Moore comes up limping after that one. Hopefully he's okay. Sure, I've seen a lot of injuries in today's game. Let's see. Mason Shipley. Is the kicker for Texas. Okay, here we go. His career long, wow, 60 yards, which he hit last year with Texas State. So he's got a big leg. He's in his first year at Texas after 3 with Texas State. His long on the year is 53. And he's 1 for 4 from beyond 50. But definitely has the leg to get it there from, I guess, 60. Although, it is windy. I think the wind might actually be blowing the direction they're going, which is something to note. Manning to throw, plenty of time. Like, plenty of time. Now he steps up, floats one underneath for Wisner. And Wisner has the first down, lowers the shoulder, and gets the 42, which is a yard past the field goal target line, which usually they put at the career long of the kicker. And then Texas spikes it here. Good job getting on that quickly. Sometimes teams take way too long to get there. But they're a yard into field goal range. Would be a 59-yarder from here. Manning looks to throw. Manning tried to get rid of it, then throws out of a sack. He really had to get a throw. Can't take a sack right there. They take a lot of time off the clock. And would knock him out of field goal range. I mean, there's not even a guarantee they get into their playoff. I would think they would, having 17 seconds. Alright, they put a couple seconds back on the clock, so 19 seconds till halftime. Texas is out of timeouts. A&M still has all 3. So Manning in shotgun back to his right. 3rd and 10. Manning looks to throw. Can't take a sack. Oh, man. Did he get that throw off? He almost took a sack. Let's see. This gets ruled incomplete right here. Clock is stopped with 12 seconds to go. Oh, they're going to throw up a flag here for grounding. I don't even know if we got that throw off. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. So there is no grounding call because he was down first. So it is now 4th and 18. And Texas A&M calls a timeout to avoid a running clock. So now this is an interesting call right here for Texas. There's still 12 seconds left in the half. Man, Arch Manning took a big hit on that play. But now, yeah, 12 seconds left. I guess you could throw a Hail Mary, but I don't know if you really want to do that. No, they're going to send in the punt team. Because there's still 12 seconds left, and a Hail Mary is probably not going to take all 12 seconds, which, if it's incomplete, then you'd give Texas A&M the ball at midfield. So Texas sends on the punt team. A&M will get it here. Although Casey Concepcion did have a big return before. And this one is... Oh, Texas A&M didn't even put anybody back there. But this one goes into the end zone. 2 seconds left. The ball come out to the 20. And you'd imagine A&M just going to take a knee right here before halftime. So yeah, A&M takes a knee. We head to halftime. Texas A&M leading 10-3. And getting the football to start the second half. But both defenses look great in the first half. But definitely saw each team able to move the ball a little bit more effectively as the half wore on. But 10-3 at the half. A&M leads, and they get the ball to start the second half. I'm going to go take a quick break, use the bathroom, fill my water. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So we got Texas A&M leading Texas 10-3 at the half. A very defensive first half. And the offense definitely was a little bit better for both teams as the half progressed. But still a pretty defensive game. Just saw this. Texas A&M is 15-0 under Mike Elko when winning at the half. So, they would probably like your chances if you're Texas A&M. Hold on one second. But, yeah, Texas A&M up 10-3 at the half. And as far as an updated score prediction goes, my original prediction, I thought this game was going to be a shootout. I mean, it still could be. I definitely think we'll see more offense throughout the second half. But I originally said 36-28 in Texas A&M. And let's stick with Texas A&M. And let's go A&M by a score of... let's see. Let's say 27-17. Better commercials, Dr. Pepper Fansville or the Nissan Heisman House. Ooh, that's tough. I like those. Both those are pretty good. I'd say Dr. Pepper Fansville. But I mean, both are pretty good. But we'll go over some stats here from the first half. Obviously, A&M leads 10-3. Marcel Reed is 10 of 15 for 94 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. On the ground for Texas A&M, Marcel Reed, their leading rusher, actually the game's leading rusher, 7 carries for 45 yards. Ruben Owens, 8 carries for 27 yards. Casey Concepcion, 1 for 8 and a touchdown. Morrow has 2 for 3, and Craver, 1 carry for a yard. Then receiving for Texas A&M, Mario Craver, 4 catches for 40 yards. Casey Concepcion, 3 for 35. Theo Melanorstrom, 1 for 12. Ashton Bethel Rowan, 1 for 6. And Ruben Owens, 1 for a yard. Then for Texas, Arch Manning, a pretty rough first half. 8 of 21 for 51 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. But, 8 of 21 is not a very good completion percentage. What is that percentage? 38%. Yeah, that's not very good. Then running the ball for Texas, Wisner went 5 carries for 29 yards, Arch Manning and 5 for 27, and C.J. Baxter at 3 for 5. Then receiving for Texas, Wisner is also their leading receiver, got 2 catches for 19 yards. Andrews has 2 catches for 18 yards. Emmett Mosley 1 for 9, DeAndre Moore 1 for 4, and Ryan Wingo 2 for a yard. And then team stats from the first half, A&M with 11 first downs, Texas with 8. Neither team too great on third down. A&M 2 of 7, Texas 3 of 9. Although A&M is 1 of 1 on fourth down, Texas didn't attempt one. Yards, A&M outgaining Texas 177 to 112. Texas A&M more passing yards and more rushing yards. Texas more penalties, 4 penalties, 48 yards going against Texas, 2 for 10 against Texas A&M. No turnovers in the first half, and time possession 17:52 for Texas A&M, 12:08 for Texas. I really wonder how these guys in the studio don't run out of things to say about Lane Kiffin. Every time there's a halftime show, oh, let's talk about Lane Kiffin's future. Where is Lane Kiffin going? Like, I get it's a lot to talk about, but how do you never run out of things to say? Like, I feel like there's only so much you can say. But, I mean, I'm interested to see where Lane Kiffin does end up. I mean, I think he should stay at Ole Miss. I mean, I don't really know why he would leave. I mean, yes, he's got a big offer from LSU, but apparently Ole Miss is willing to match anything he gets. And I just think it makes more sense for him to stay. They've given him a lot of resources and money to go use the transfer portal. They've had one of the best portal classes for the past several years. I mean, I just think it makes more sense for him to stay, but obviously we'll have to see his decision tomorrow. I am wondering when we get his decision. Like, if it's going to be like sometime on game day tomorrow morning, or if we're going to get it sometime throughout the afternoon. I have no idea. But definitely an interesting one. But we'll also check some scores from around the country, although not too many games going on right now. I believe there's 3. And we can also recap what went on today. Indiana now leads Purdue 28-3 at the half. Dangerous score right there, but I would still expect Indiana to win. What a first half for Fernando Mendoza. 5 of 12 for 42 yards. Although he did run for a touchdown. And Arizona and Arizona State is still scoreless pretty much through the first quarter. Arizona State is just 14 yards. Arizona's got 83. But that game is scoreless. Some other scores today we saw. I'll start with the ranked games first. We saw Ole Miss beat Mississippi State 38-19. They've officially clinched their playoff spot. Well, not officially, but they're going to make the playoff. Utah beat Kansas 31-21. And we saw Georgia beat Georgia Tech 16-9. They're a lock for the playoff. We also saw North Texas beat Temple 52-25. New Mexico beat San Diego State 23-17 in double overtime. We saw Air Force beat Colorado State 42-21. Then we also saw Ohio beat Buffalo 31-26. We saw Kent State beat Northern Illinois 35-31. And Iowa scored 40 points against a good defense as they beat Nebraska 40-16. Never did see Iowa score 40. Although, Emmett Johnson was his name, right? Yeah, Emmett Johnson, Nebraska running back. He ran for 217 yards, and Nebraska still only put up 16 points. How? Maybe when you complete 9 of 24 passes and throw for 69 yards, but I mean, still 217 yards from one guy is insane. But let's see. The second half should start somewhat soon. I know college halftime's a lot longer than NFL halftime. Let's see. We went to halftime about 13 minutes ago. We'll still probably get another 7 or so minutes. Maybe it's 18 minutes. I can't remember, though. But we could talk about some playoff scenarios. While we wait, those are always fun to go over. But I definitely think we got the top 4 are locks. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Georgia. Georgia already won. They're in. They might not even have to play another game before the playoff, depending on what happens tonight and tomorrow. A&M is a lock regardless of what happens. Indiana's a lock regardless of what happens. Ohio State's a lock regardless of what happens. Now, you get to the 5 seed Texas Tech. I don't think they're a lock. I've seen some people say they are, but they play a bad West Virginia team tomorrow. And if they lose that game, they could fall out. I would not be shocked. Oregon, I don't think is a lock either. They are number 6 now after they moved up a spot this week, but I still think they can fall out if they lose to Washington, although Washington is a pretty good team, so maybe they'll stay in, but they would definitely no longer host a playoff game. Ole Miss is a lock after winning today. Oklahoma's a lock if they win, but I don't really think they have an easy game against LSU. Notre Dame plays Stanford. They're an interesting one because they're more towards the bubble, but I would like to believe they're in with a win. And then Alabama's interesting because it's not really is Alabama going to make the playoff if they win. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's not necessarily they would What am I trying to say? How do I want to say this? It's not they would move down because of a win. It's more that other teams move up, if that makes sense. So take somebody like a Michigan or a Texas. Michigan at 15. I think they can jump up, right? If they beat Ohio State, that's arguably the best win in the country. Either that or Indiana's win over Oregon. Or maybe A&M at Notre Dame. Those are probably the top three. Although Alabama-Georgia is pretty good as well. But you get the point. It's one of the best wins in the country. And Michigan's currently ranked 15th. They would be 10-2. And you look at what Michigan's done. They would have an 11-point loss to Oklahoma, who you would assume is a playoff team. They have an 18-point loss against USC. And they currently have 0 ranked wins. Their best win right now is a 17-point win against Washington, who is currently 8-3. Now, obviously, a lot changes if they beat Ohio State. But they have 1 ranked win right now. Or they could have 1 ranked win. Technically 2, depending on if Washington beats Oregon or not. And as far as... I wonder how many bowl-eligible teams they've beaten. So let's go through them real quick. They beat New Mexico. And New Mexico, they are bowl eligible. They're 9-3. And they lost to Oklahoma. They beat Central Michigan, who's another bowl eligible team. They're 7-4. They beat Nebraska, who is bowl eligible at 7-5. They beat Wisconsin, who's not making a bowl game. USC they lost to, but they're making a bowl game. Washington's making a bowl game. Michigan State they beat. They're not. Neither is Purdue. And Northwestern is bowl eligible, and then Maryland is not. So they do have a decent amount of wins against bowl-eligible teams, but just not great wins overall. So that's what Michigan has done. And then to compare that to somebody they're potentially on the bubble with, right? You compare them to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, if they win, I think they still have a chance if they beat Tennessee, but I think Michigan's got the better resume than Vanderbilt. Although, actually, it is close, because Vanderbilt, they've got some nice wins. Actually, their wins haven't really aged that well. They beat LSU, but LSU's not good. Missouri's not really great. Alright, never mind then. But they got the better resume than Vanderbilt. Same thing with Utah. Miami's an interesting debate, because obviously Miami's got the losses that aren't great. Michigan's losses are a lot better, but Miami's also got the wins, right? They beat Notre Dame. They beat South Florida, who's obviously not amazing anymore, but they're still pretty solid. But I would think Michigan would have the advantage there because the losses aren't as good, and the 1 win they do have is better. Then BYU is an interesting debate because you're comparing assuming an 11-1 team in BYU against Michigan, who'd be 10-2. But the committee hasn't respected BYU. And I mean, I kind of understand it because they haven't really played anybody. I mean, they beat Utah by 3. Yes, Utah's pretty good. But they also got destroyed by Texas Tech. So, I kind of understand it. Although they do have another win over Arizona. Although they might not still be ranked depending on what happens today. But I would probably give the edge to BYU. But I can understand having Michigan over it. But let's say for hypothetical purposes, Michigan is ranked higher than BYU. Then you get to comparing them with Alabama. And I just don't think you can put Michigan over Alabama. I mean, yes, Alabama's got the bad loss to Florida State. And Michigan's losses are nowhere near that bad. But Alabama, they've got a win at Georgia. They got a win against the top 15 Vanderbilt team. They got a win against a ranked Tennessee team. I feel like there's one more. No, that's it. But they've also lost to Oklahoma and Florida State. I would have Alabama ranked higher. Obviously, there's definitely debate of if they get ranked ahead of Alabama if Michigan wins. That's also assuming Alabama wins, which is not a guarantee. I actually picked Alabama to lose in the Iron Bowl tomorrow. And then, let's say, hypothetically, they're above Alabama. Then you get to comparing them against Notre Dame. And that is where I think you really draw the line. Because, I mean, Notre Dame and Michigan have a few common opponents. Purdue and USC. Notre Dame beat Purdue 56-30. Michigan beat Purdue, I think, by 5. 21-16. Yeah, they beat Purdue 21-16. And Michigan lost 31-13 against USC. Notre Dame beat them 34-24. So I think the highest I'd see Michigan ranked would be 10th, ahead of Alabama, although I think it makes a lot more sense to have them 11th or 12th behind Alabama and or BYU. And the Texas debate is also interesting. I don't think they'd be ranked quite as high, because obviously they do have the bad loss to Florida, which is a really bad loss. So I don't think they should move up as much, but it is an interesting conversation if they do end up winning this game. But definitely a lot that we can talk about the playoff, but second half going to start right now. And this kickoff here, fair call at the 12-yard line, so it'll come out to the 25. Yeah, a lot more playoff potential scenarios we can talk about, but maybe we'll go through a few more at commercial. We'll have to see how it goes. And we've also got the second half starting now, so get back to watching the game. So Texas A&M gets the ball first here. As we start the third quarter, they get the ball on the 25-yard line after they took a fair catch on the kickoff. A&M going to start. Reed looks to throw. Rolling to his right. Reed now rolls back to his left. Reed on the run. Still looking downfield. Now throws back across the field, and it's incomplete. But a lot of running right there from Marcel Reed just for it to be an incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10. They go to the ground here with Reuben Owens, and he's taken down for just 2, not a whole ton of space to run. So 3rd and 8. Reed and shotgun back to... actually, a guy wound up to his left and to his right. So 3rd down and 8. Reed looks to throw, gets pressured. Reed backpedaling. Throwing downfield, incomplete. Nobody there. That might be grounding. Actually, no. He was out of the pocket, so never mind. But the Texas defense gets off to a great start. They force a 3 and out on the first. The first possession of the second half. And they get the ball back. Oh, Texas. How do they not block that? I looked away for a second. And I see a million guys standing at the punter. I don't know how he got that off. But it ends up being a good punt. It takes an A&M roll down to the 22-yard line. I have no idea how he got that off. But Arch Manning and the Texas offense back onto the field. And let's see what they can do here for their first possession of the second half. Defense got a 3 and out. Let's see what the offense can do. And I actually saw this tweet on Twitter. Obviously, where else would it be? But I saw this the other day. Let me see if I can find it. I think I bookmarked it in case I wanted to reference it at all. No, I didn't. Okay. But essentially, I think Texas is scoring like 17 points per game under Steve Sarkisian. That's top 5 teams. So the offense has not been good, and that's been the case so far today. Just 3 points in the first half. I mean, obviously still a whole half of football left to be played. But a handoff here to start the drive. Lots of space for Wisner. Breaking free. Trey Wisner inside Texas A&M territory. Across the 40. Cutting back inside. Taken down at the 30. Big run for Trey Wisner to start this second half. The biggest play of the day for this Texas offense. It's a 48-yard run for Wisner and a huge play on the ground for Texas. He's able to break through the first level of the defense, but there's nobody there on the second level. And he gains 48. All the way to the Texas A&M 30. After that, he's now run for 77 yards. Play clock at 3 after a very late substitution by Texas. They had to give A&M time to substitute. Now Manning throws incomplete. Oh, we got a flag that comes in now. Wingo wants the flag. He doesn't see a flag. Yeah, I can understand the flag right there. There's... Wingo gets grabbed a little bit. I mean, these Texas A&M corners are really good, but I do probably agree there should be a flag right there. We've also got an injured defensive lineman down on the field for Texas A&M. And hopefully he's okay. He's able to go jog off the field, though. Doesn't look 100%. But that penalty, the third one going against Texas A&M. So 1st and 10 here. From the 18-yard line. Manning in the pistol. Wisner the back behind him. Now Wisner to his right. And Manning hands off to Wisner. And he's got no space to go. Well played by the A&M defense. And he's going to lose 2. So 2nd and 11. So an empty backfield here for Arch Manning. Manning, pump fakes the screen, looks to throw. Manning has time. Now he dances around. Manning rolling right, has space to run, throws back of the end zone, incomplete. Threw it at the feet of Emmett Mosley in the back of the end zone. I mean, I think Arch Manning had some space to run right there. Tried to force the ball to the end zone, incomplete. Might have been smarter to just take what you can get right there and make this more manageable 3rd down. Because it's now 3rd and 11. The ball in 19, Manning and shotgun, back to his right. A&M brings a blitz. Manning pressured. Manning tries to get a throw off. He does, just to avoid a sack. Mike Elko wants a flag. Now, I think I'd agree with that. Yeah, it's going to be intentional grounding here going against Arch Manning. Trying to avoid the sack, but I mean, it's going to end up being a sack anyway. It's hilarious when they show the two coaches. You got Mike Elko screaming for a flag, and then Steve Sarkisian trying to say, "What? There's no way that's a flag." You know, I don't think there's anyone in the area right here. Yeah, that's grounding. So Texas going to settle for a field goal here. Mason Shipley's made from 41. This is a 46-yarder. And Shipley's kick is up And his kick is good. Mason Shipley from 46 yards away cuts into the Texas A&M lead. It is 10-6, but Texas unable to really capitalize off the big run from Trey Wisner that started this drive. And the A&M defense does a pretty good job. Bend, not break. And they hold them to 3. And they still lead 10-6. So it's 10-6 after that one. A pretty good drive for Texas. Although, not really true. A good one play from Texas. It ends up being a 5-play, 50-yard drive. It takes a minute 54 off the clock. But 48 of their 50 yards came on one play. I just saw this. This is a pretty crazy stat. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss threw for another 300 yards today, and he now has 7 300-yard passing games this season, and that's most in the FBS. And the craziest part is Trinidad Chambliss didn't even start till like week 3. But what a year he's had. I mean, coming to replace Austin Simmons, who got hurt, he's just taking over the starting role. And I mean, Austin Simmons, he started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, and he's thrown for at least 307 of them. Only games he didn't, he threw for 159 against South Carolina, he threw for 263 against Georgia, and he threw for 253 against Washington State. But he has been really good. From D2 transfer, obviously. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. A 10-6, about to say 10-3. Texas A&M lead. Indiana-Purdue is still 28-3. Very early into the third quarter. And that game started the same time we did, so it makes sense. And then Indiana and Arizona and Arizona State is still scoreless. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial break. It's a 10-6 lead for Texas. Texas A&M. So the kick is away, and it's going to be returned here from about the 3-yard line. And on the return, they'll get to the 23. So not a great return, but not terrible either. And that is where Texas A&M will take over for their next possession. Well, the playoff predictor, Texas A&M, a 99.9% chance to make the playoff with a win. With the loss, it's still 99%. For Texas, they have an 8% chance to make the playoff with a win, and less than a 0.1% chance with the loss, which sounds about right. So 1st and 10 here. Reed in shotgun from their own 22-yard line, officially spotted as after that was the kick return. Or that was where the kick got returned from. Or 2. Sorry. Reed hands off. Morrow left side. Cuts up the middle. And he'll gain about 3, maybe 4 as he falls forward. Sorry, that was actually E.J. Smith, the ball carrier. That was Morrow. 23? Maybe that wasn't 23 who carried the ball. So sorry about that. So Reed looks to throw here. Throws underneath that pass. Caught by Craver. Takes a big hit. He holds on to the football, but gains 4. And brings up 3rd and 2 here for Texas A&M. So 3rd down and 2. It's a 2nd and 8. 2 of 8 on 3rd down for Texas A&M. Reed looks to throw, gets pressure, takes a shot, deep down the field, incomplete. Looking for KC Concepcion, but it's incomplete. Threw it a little too far. And it brings up 4th and 2, and the Texas defense forces a quick 3 and out. So back-to-back 3 and outs to start the second half. For Texas, we got an injured defender down on the field for Texas. It's actually Colin Simmons. That is not good. Hopefully he's okay. So he'll walk off the field. So 4th and 2. A&M punted away again. Texas defense playing pretty well here to start the second half. So the punt is away. And Ryan Niblett makes a fair catch at the 30-yard line. And that is where Texas will take over with 10:16 to go in the third quarter. So 1st and 10 here for Texas, 10:16 to go in the third quarter. Handoff, left side for Wisner. This time not as much space in his first carry of the drive, but it's still a good run. He picks up 6. So 2nd and 4. And here's another handoff. Wisner again has space. And Wisner getting inside A&M territory again. This time down to the 47-yard line. Another great run back for Trey Wisner. And Texas starting to get the run game going a little bit here. Back-to-back good runs to start this drive. And also the 48-yarder on the first play of the last drive. This is really nice blocking up front for Texas, and a good patience there by Wisner as well, waiting for that to develop. Here's a throw to the outside for Wingo. Makes the catch, gets a block, and Wingo, oh man, just got tripped up after a gain of 4. Otherwise, he had some space. Ryan Wingo tonight been targeted quite a few times, although he's caught just 3 passes for 5 yards. Here's a handoff. Wisner right side. Wisner makes a cut. Down the sideline. Wisner forced out of bounds. At the 25-yard line, another big run there for Trey Wisner. And a first down for Texas. Trey Wisner is now run for 115 on just 10 carries. He gets it again here. This time trying to get to the outside. He's tripped up in the backfield for a loss of a yard. Texas outgaining Texas A&M 191 to 87 or 187. So 2nd and 12. Manning and shotgun back to his left. They bring Wingo across the formation. Ball on the 29. Manning pump fakes. Manning gonna pull it down and foot one back of the end zone. Got it. Is caught up by Wingo for a touchdown. Wide open in the back of the end zone. Ryan Wingo makes the catch. Arch Manning threw that pretty much the last possible second before he crossed the line of scrimmage, but it's a 29-yard touchdown for Ryan Wingo, and Texas retakes the lead. It's a 6-play, 70-yard drive. They take 3 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock. And Texas retakes the lead. What a drive right there. Run game really starting to open things up. And Texas retakes the lead with 7:12 to go in the third quarter. And the extra point is good. 13-10. Texas leads Texas A&M. Arch Manning almost overthrew this. Wingo actually had to make a pretty impressive catch in the back of the end zone to catch that. I mean, if Arch Manning missed that throw, that would have been so bad. But it is now 13-10. Texas leads. A nice drive right there. But a big drive right there for Texas. And it is now 13-10 with 7:12 to go in the third quarter. Man, what a third quarter for Texas so far. They forced A&M to 3 and outs on both their drives. Then they've gone 5 plays, 50 yards and kicked a field goal. And now 6 plays, 70 yards. And scored their first touchdown of the game. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here, and let's see how Texas A&M responds. I mean, the defense giving up some yards now. Offense can't get anything going here in the third quarter. Let's see how they respond. Update on some other scores. Indiana that leads Purdue 35-3. Fernando Mendoza threw a touchdown, although he's still only 7-14 for 74 yards. What kind of Heisman performance that is. And the Arizona State leading Arizona 7-0. I am not sure how they scored, but they somehow did. Oh, they scored on a 27-yard touchdown run from quarterback Jeff Sims. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. 13-10. Alright. Now they're back. So 13-10, Texas leads 7:12 to go in the third quarter. The kickoff is going to bounce through the end zone for a touchback, and it'll come out to 25. So they go back to the touchdown. The safety at the back, where Wingo is, just starts creeping up, worrying about an Arch Manning run. And then Wingo just runs right behind him. Arch Manning makes an easy throw. Although, made it a lot harder than it needed to be for Ryan Wingo. But a 1st and 10 here. Reed sets up the screen for Concepcion. He breaks a tackle, and he'll gain 3 on the first down completion. So 2nd and 7. Casey Concepcion now 4 catches for 38 yards. Also has run for a touchdown, and he had a big punt return to set up their touchdown drive. So Reed in shotgun back to his left. Reed looks to throw, pressured quickly. Reed breaks a sack, rolling to his left, and Reed going to run here. And Marcel Reed out of bounds near the first down marker. Going to be a yard short. And it brings up 3rd and 1. Marcel Reed looks pretty good on that ankle. Speed looks good right there. So it's 3rd and 1 here for Texas A&M. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. Ball on their own 34. So Reed in shotgun back to his right. Texas is late running a guy onto the field. A&M was late getting out of the huddle. And they're forced to call a timeout. So the play clock winding down. Texas A&M calls a timeout. The first timeout's been by either side in the first half. Comes with 5:53 to go in the third quarter. But wait for them to come back from commercial. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Check the other scores right now as well. Nothing has changed. Still 35-3. Although Purdue just fumbled, Indiana recovered. They've got the ball 1st and 10 on the Purdue 42. The second turnover of the day for Purdue. And Arizona State still leads Arizona 7-0. Alright, so I'm gonna check my tripod. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. 5:53 to go in the third quarter. It's a 3rd and 1 for Texas A&M. But a big play upcoming right here. Texas A&M really needs to avoid 3 straight 3-and-outs to start the third quarter. Now, why do these commercial breaks feel like they're 4 hours long? But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. 3rd and short for Texas A&M. A 3-point Texas lead. It's the first time they've led since 3-0. Alright, now they're finally back. That took forever. But a huge 3rd down here for Texas A&M. Third and 1 from their own 34. Marcel Reed in shotgun. Ruben Owens is the back line to his right. Bring a tight end in motion. And they're going to hand it off here. Owens straight ahead. Has a first down. Owens still on his feet. Crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line. A nice run there for Ruben Owens and a first down for Texas A&M. Both teams have crossed 100 yards rushing. Texas has run for 136. A&M has run for 102. So 1st and 10 from the 41. They go back to the ground here. Owens straight ahead. And solid pick up about 4 yards right there. It's been a very pass-heavy approach for Texas A&M so far. I mean, they've thrown it fairly well. Let me pull up the numbers. Marcel Reed has thrown it 20 times. Run it 8. Ruben Owens has run it 12 times. But they give it to him again right here, straight at the middle. And Owens with a nice carry. 5 yards, close to another first down. And it brings up 3rd and short for Texas A&M. Could be 4-down territory right here. So it's a 3rd and 1, 4:05 to go in the third quarter. Reed and shotgun. Hands it off again, straight up the middle. Oh boy, I don't know if you got that. This spot comes in at the line of scrimmage, a yard short. E.J. Smith got the carry, and he got stuffed. It's 4th down. And decision here for Mike Elko. I'm going for it. A&M, they're 11-15 on 4th downs this year. They're 1 for 1 on the day. Ball on midfield. They got to get to the Texas 49. They go with the T formation. Reed under center. And with the play clock winding down, we got a timeout here. Although I think this might be by Texas. It is by Texas. So Texas calls a timeout. The first timeout they spend here in the third quarter. Or the second half. But I mean, I like this decision to go for. I feel like you got to go for this right here. Our defense got off to a little bit of a slow start here in the third quarter. Go for it. Keep the drive alive. I mean, you do run a little bit of a risk if you don't get it, but I like the decision. So it's a 4th and 1 for Texas A&M. .318 to go in the third quarter. Texas A&M, they've run for 111. Texas has run for 136. A&M 101 passing, Texas 84. So A&M's got the offense out there. Reed and shotgun, Owens to his right. They just ran it 4 plays in a row. Let's see if it's a 5th run. They bring a receiver in motion, and we got early movement by both sides. Let's see. Was the left side of the offensive line, but it might be... No, it's a false start. So that is a big penalty right there. It's the left tackle and left guard who move early. But that is a big penalty because now you can't go for it on 4th and 6. And now A&M's going to punt. That is a big penalty. So Texas A&M now forced to punt it away. It's now 4th and 6 from their own 45. Ryan Niblett, a dangerous returner back deep to receive. The punt away, and Niblett calls for a fair catch at the 17-yard line. But Texas takes over inside their own 20, but the defense gets another stop. And A&M has punted on all 3 possessions so far in the third quarter. So 3:11 to go in the third quarter, a 13-10 Texas lead, and they start this drive on their own 17. They've gotten points on each of their first 2 drives in the second half. They start this drive on the ground with Trey Wisner, and he's taken down for a loss of a yard. No space on this run. Brings up 2nd and 11. Trey Wisner tonight, 12 carries for 113 yards. He's the first player for Texas this year to have a 100-yard rushing game. Ran for 186 last year against A&M. That's his career high. Manning looks to throw. Throws over the middle of that pass, caught by Livingstone for a first down. Gain of about 18 for Texas. And a nice chunk play right there. Livingstone makes it, might be his first catch. Been targeted a few times, but I don't know if he's got any catches. But a first down there out to the 35. And here's a handoff to the left side for Wisner. Makes a cut. Makes a man miss. And stiff arms guy to the... Oh, ball came out at the end. It's an 11-yard gain. Texas have to keep possession. By the way, after that pass to Livingstone a couple plays ago now, it was... That put Arch Manning over 100 yards passing on the game. So 1st and 10 here, minute 30 to go in the third quarter. Trey Wisner now 13 for 123. So Manning and shotgun with the back to his right. And he handed off here. Wisner again. This time he's got no space. And he's taken down for a loss, maybe 2 or 3 on the play. And it's 2nd and long. Cassius Howell's had a pretty quiet game so far today. With the tackle for loss right there. So 2nd and 12. Manning in shotgun. Now CJ Baxter is the back one to his right. And Manning going to look to throw here. Manning plenty of time. Throws over the middle. Wide open receiver is Jack Endries. Inside A&M territory. Stiff arming guy. Still on his feet. Endries inside the 5. Taken down at the 3-yard line. A big catch and run for Jack Endries. And Texas set up 1st and goal. Well, what a catch and run. And that could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. What a quarter this has been for Texas. Man, he was wide open. And a good stiff arm. Man, what a play right there for Texas. But that brings us to the 4th quarter. A dominant 3rd quarter there for Texas. The offense really wakes up. The defense forces 3 Texas A&M punts. And we head to the 4th quarter with Texas up 13-10. And they have all the momentum right now. That was a 54-yard catch and run to Jack Endries. 36 after the catch. Texas might pull it off. Yeah, I know. It didn't look likely in the first half, but I mean, what a 3rd quarter right there. They outscore A&M 10-0. A really, really good quarter there for Texas. But in that 3rd quarter, the defense for Texas, they allowed a 3-and-out, and a 6-play, 20-yard drive that ended up in a punt. And then the offense, they went 50 yards to field goal, 70 yards, scored a touchdown, and now here 81 yards. And they've got the ball on the 3-yard line. That's 201 yards here in the 3rd quarter for Texas. After they had just 100 at halftime. Does that seem right? That does make sense. 201 yards here in the 3rd quarter. They have just 301 in the game, so that has to be the case. But a dominant 3rd quarter right there for Texas. And if they can go up multiple scores here, that could be big. But we wait for them. We wait for them to come back from commercial. And we'll have to see if Texas can keep it up. They got the ball on the Texas A&M 2-yard line. And going up by 10 here would be pretty big at this point in the game. Although, I mean, still plenty of time left, as we're just starting the 4th quarter. Although, I just remember Texas beat Texas A&M by 10 last year, 17-7. I think. Pretty sure that was, yeah, 17-7. That game, obviously, at Kyle Field. But we wait for them to come back from commercial break. Texas with the football on their own, on the A&M 2. Alright, so the official numbers, Texas had 112 in the first half. They had 189 in the third quarter, so I must have messed up here. They handed off to the tight end on the sweep, and he's in for a touchdown. How about that? A jet sweep from the tight end, and Texas scores on the first play of the fourth quarter. Nick Townsend with the 2-yard rushing touchdown. And Texas is about to go up by 10. That fooled everybody. I mean, not every day you see a team run a jet sweep with their tight end. But it's a 6-play, 83-yard drive. And Texas really dominating the second half. What a call right there from Steve Sarkisian. The extra point here is a low kick, but it is good. But 20-10, Texas A&M leads, or Texas leads Texas A&M. Man, they have dominated this second half. So what happens to A&M if they lose? Well, I mean, obviously they're going to miss the SEC title game, but I don't know. They're still in the playoff, but well, I don't really know how far they drop. It's their first loss of the year. They don't really punish teams too much for losing their first game. It's the first loss of the year. It'd be to a good team on the road. I mean, you drop them a spot? I don't really think they should get dropped much. Maybe behind Georgia. But they should still be ahead of Texas Tech. They should be ahead of Oregon, ahead of Ole Miss. And that's all the one-loss teams, except BYU is down at 11. So I don't really think they should drop that far. But that's just me. But let's see how Texas A&M responds here. The kickoff return is a decent one to the 28-yard line. Don't think so either, yeah. But a 1st and 10 here. Let's see what the A&M offense can do. Reed. Going to check down here to Owens. Makes a man miss, and he'll gain about 3, maybe 4 on the play. So 2nd and 7. Reed and shotgun back to his right from the 32-yard line. We'll hand it off here up the middle to Owens. And again, he'll gain about 3. I mean, we've seen Texas A&M come back. When they came down, they came back from being down like 27, 30 points against South Carolina. So they can definitely come back. And they did most of that in a quarter. So being down 10 and having the whole fourth quarter for them probably isn't much. But Texas also was a lot better than South Carolina. But it's a 3rd and 4 here for Texas A&M. On their own 35-yard line, Reed and shotgun with the back to his right. Reed looks to throw, rolling to his right, checking down to Owens in the flat. Makes him miss, stumbles. Oh, I think he's going to be short. Owens is short. It's going to be 4th and 1. You got to go for this. Although, I mean, I don't know. I like to go for it right here. But if you don't get it, that is really bad. But I like the offense is out on the field. It's only on their own 38-yard line, but I like this decision from Mike Elko. You need to have something positive here offensively, Reed's going to come under center. Are they going to snap this here or just try to draw him off? Yeah, they're not going to snap this here. And they're going to take the delay. I'm not sure I love that. So they're going to punt it right here. I think you got to go for it right there. I mean, you need something to happen positive for your offense. That's now 3 and outs in 4 drives. And if your defense is not playing that well, you're going to need some points right here. I like going for it right there. But they punt it away. Ryan Niblet on the return here. Cuts inside. And he gets a great return to the 33-yard line. But man, everything is going the way of Texas right now. Momentum has completely shifted. And Texas now up by 10. Man, what a crazy shift. But we wait for them to come back from commercial, and let's see what the A&M offense can do. The defense can do. They got to get a stop here. But I think you got to go for it right there. But let's check some of the other scores. Let's see what Indiana's doing with Purdue. Probably still a blowout, but let's check. Oh yeah, it's now 49-3. Fernando Mendoza is up to 8 of 15 for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also ran for a score. And they've officially taken him out. His younger brother Alberto Mendoza's in. Yeah, he's not going to win the Heisman. I mean, 117 yards and 3 total touchdowns against Purdue is not going to get it done. As long as Jeremiah Love does more than have like 10 yards tomorrow, he's going to win the Heisman. Really, the only thing I can think of is like Julian Sain come out and like absolutely lighting up Michigan and lighting up Indiana in the Big Ten title game. But right now, I think it's Jeremiah Love to lose right now. And then Arizona State still leads Arizona 7-0. That game almost at halftime. But we wait for them to come back from commercial break here. Let's see if the A&M defense can build on something. Or just get something to potentially shift the momentum, even a little bit. If you're A&M right now, you'll take anything. So Texas with the ball here. Manning in the pistol. Hands off to Baxter straight ahead. And CJ Baxter going to gain about a yard. As he gets it to the 35-yard line. No Mendoza for Heisman. Yeah, he just does not have the numbers. I mean, he's a great player, but the numbers today, 117 yards, 3 total touchdowns against Purdue. I don't think it's going to get it done. And I mean, even the whole year, the numbers just aren't just Heisman level. They're good, but they're not Heisman level. So 2nd and 9 here. Another handoff, and this time A&M stops in the backfield. Loss of 3 in the play. And it's 3rd and long. See, this is where Texas was to start the game. When they punted like 1,000 times. They were in 3rd and long situations. And they couldn't convert them. But let's see here. 3rd and 12. Let's see if the A&M defense can get off the field. They really need to. And get the ball back to the offense. So 3rd and 12 from their own 32. Manning in shotgun back to his right. A&M brings pressure. Manning gets pressured. Gets hit as he throws. Launches one downfield. Incomplete. Just overthrows receiver. And it's 4th down. A&M brought a blitz. Arch Manning got hit as he threw it. It was still a good throw. He got plenty on it. And in fact, he overthrew it. And let's see what the A&M offense can do. Although maybe KC Concepcion can do something. Had a big return before. And I'll bring this one back to the 41. That's something. But Texas A&M, they force a 3 and out. They had a decent return there for KC Concepcion. Maybe that's the start of something for them because they sure need it. But I mean, there's also still plenty of time left. There's 10:52 to go in the 4th quarter. And it's still a 10-point game. It was a 43-yard punt, 16-yard return. But a big possession right there. A big possession for the Texas A&M defense. They get the ball back to the offense, and maybe the offense can do something. Although they have not done much here in the second half. The A&M offense, had three and outs, and the other drive they didn't go 3 and out was another punt. The 4th quarter, or the second half drive for Texas A&M. 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. 3 plays, 8 yards, punt. 6 plays, 20 yards, punt. 3 plays, 4 yards, punt. I mean, also, they also didn't get off to a great offensive start in the first half. Punts on each of their first 2. Then they got the offense going and missed a field goal, although still put a drive together. And then the offense kind of woke up a little bit. But then they've completely fallen asleep at halftime, and they have not woken up yet in the second half. But we wait for them to come back from commercial, a 10-point game, and we'll have to see what A&M can do. By the way, the other scores I just looked, Indiana and Purdue, and Arizona State has stayed the same score, so 7-0 and 49-3. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here. Texas A&M gets the football on their own 41-yard line. Comebacks this year. A&M, they trailed by 10 in the second quarter against Notre Dame and won that game. And obviously, they were down by 27 against South Carolina. This pass is floating up in the air from Marcel Reed. It's incomplete. What a dangerous throw. I mean, the game against Notre Dame is definitely a comeback, but it's not really a true comeback. That was the second quarter. It's not like you were down 10 in the fourth. Or down 30 at halftime. So 2nd and 10 here. 10:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Texas has outscored Texas A&M 17-0 here in the second half. Reed, quick throw to the outside, high throw. It's caught by Terry Bussey for a gain of about 5. I think with where you are in the field here for Texas A&M, you've got to be thinking 2 plays to get this. It's 3rd and 6. I can see a run right here on 3rd down. Reed going to look to throw it. Reed throws that is going to be caught for a 1st down. Not a very hard throw from Marcel Reed, but it gets to Ashton Bethel-Roman. And he makes the catch, though we got a flag down. Oh, it's offensive pass interference, though. And then right when it looks like they've got something positive, penalty wipes it off. So they meant to call it on 3. Oh, that is definitely an offensive pass interference. So it's now 3rd and 21. Reed looks to throw. Reed steps up, going to run it here. Marcel Reed's got some space. Reed still on his feet. Reed is going to get up to the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. And now there's a flag that comes in at the point of the tackle. Wonder if they maybe grabbed his face mask. They did. Oh, wow. That is a huge penalty. They grabbed his face mask, and it's a 1st down for Texas A&M. On 3rd and 21, too. Man, that's a big penalty. Yeah, it's definitely a face mask. So it keeps the drive alive for Texas A&M, although they could have gone for it on 4th down in that situation too. But let's see. Obviously now you don't have to worry about that. But it's just the second 1st down of the second half for A&M. Reed has time, throws underneath, incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. Marcel Reed 15 of 25 for 111. He's also run for 65 yards. Definitely not his best game. But he hasn't been terrible either. But he's not been his best. As a passer, that is. Reed looks to throw here. Steps up. Gets pressured. Rolling to his right. Reed on the run. Throws downfield. Open receiver is caught inside the 20. He's knocked out of bounds at the 13. There's a big play for the A&M offense. The tight end Melvin Orstrom makes the play. And it's a 1st down. Now they go to the ground here, straight at the middle. He's got space, breaking free and scoring. Texas A&M with a big rushing touchdown. E.J. Smith with the touchdown, and they get right back in this game. It's a 13-yard rushing score for E.J. Smith. And it's about to be a 3-point game. 6 plays, 59 yards, and a minute 37. That's what makes this offense dangerous. They can score so quickly, and they're never out of it. So here's the extra point. It is a big one. Cuts it to a 3-point game. It's on a field goal with tie. And the extra point is good. 20-17. Texas leads Texas A&M. Man, what a drive right there for Texas A&M. Right, just like that, the offense puts together a big drive, and they're right back in this game. But there you go, right there for Texas A&M. You get the 3-and-out defensively. The offense builds on that. They score a touchdown, and now it's only a 3-point game. But we wait for them to come back from commercial, and let's see how Texas responds to this. I mean, the offense just went 3-and-out. The defense just gave up their first points in the second half. It's going to be interesting to see how Texas responds. But that was a great drive right there for Texas A&M. Let's check the other scores real quick. It's now 56-3. Indiana leads Purdue. And Arizona State leads Arizona 7-3. After they kicked a field goal with a few seconds left in the first half. But that is very low scoring so far. But there at halftime, Indiana is going to officially clinch a spot in the Big Ten title game. They're up 56-3 with 8:45 to go. I mean, technically that game's not over, but there's no shot Purdue comes back. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. It's a 6-play, 59-yard drive right there for Texas A&M. Takes just a minute 37 off the clock. That's now a 3-point game with 9:15 to go. So Texas gets the ball back. They kick this off. And it's going to be returned from the 4-yard line. Ryan Niblett on the return trying to get to the outside. And he'll cut back inside and he's taken down at the 20. There's a flag on the return as well. So the flag with 9:07 to go in the fourth quarter. And Texas is going to get backed up even further. There's a illegal low block or chop block, whatever that is. Yeah, it's an illegal block below the waist against Texas on the return. So they'll be starting deep inside their own territory. Because it's half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. So it's a 1st and 10, 9:07 to go in the fourth quarter. Wait, where are they putting the ball? Oh, the penalty was actually against Texas A&M. So instead, Texas, instead of having the ball inside their own 10, they've got the ball in the 37. Manning play action pressured. Floats one downfield. Caught inside A&M territory. Taken down at the 42-yard line. Jack Endry is another big catch. And a nice play for the Texas offense on the first play. But let's see what the A&M defense does in this drive. They give a big play right there on the first play of the drive. And this is a big drive right here. Because if you allow a touchdown, it allows Texas to go up by 10 again. But if you can hold them to 3, still a one-score game, even if you can get a punt. It's a big drive right here for both sides. Manning turns around and hands off to the right side to Trey Wisner, who gains a yard, maybe 2. So 2nd and 9, 8 minutes to go. Manning, a look to throw. Throwing to the outside. That pass, oh well, what a catch by Baxter. Bobbles it again. Then holds on to it and will pick up a yard. He did a good job just to catch that ball. So 3rd and 8. Halfway through the 4th, 7:30 to go. Empty backfield for Arch Manning. And we got A&M jumping here. This should give Texas a free 5 yards. Let's see, somebody jumps here. I think this was A&M. Yeah, it is. So it's an offsides. So Manning, design quarterback run straight at the middle. He's got a first down. Manning breaking free. Arch Manning inside the 10. He will score. Touchdown, Texas. Arch Manning with a big rushing touchdown. That is a huge touchdown drive for Texas. A 35-yard touchdown. And Texas back up by 10. And what a big drive right there. They go 4 plays, 63 yards. They take just 2:11 off the clock. But they're about to be up 10 with 7:04 to go. And the extra point is good. Oh, I just realized I never... Oh, I hit space instead of 6. So it's now 27-17. And Arch Manning with a 35-yard touchdown run to put Texas up by 10. Man, what a drive right there for Texas. And again, let's see how A&M responds. 7:04 to go. They just scored very quickly, but so did Texas. Texas, they're looking for their 3rd win against the top 10 team this season. Although technically they have 2 top 10 wins right now because Vanderbilt's not in the top 10. But it would be the 3rd win against the team in the top 10 at the time they played. Fair catch called at the 20 or at the 7, bringing it out to 25 for A&M. So let's see how Texas A&M responds. 27-17, 7:04 to go. Arch Manning has 8 rushing touchdowns in the year. The rest of the Texas team has 6. But a 1st and 10 from the 25. Empty backfield for Marcel Reed, who'll look to throw. Reed gets pressured. He's going to step up and try to run. And I'll pick up 3. I mean, Reed is running a lot. His ankle doesn't seem to be bothering him at all after he got banged up a little bit before. That's definitely good news for Texas A&M. So 2nd and 8. Reed looks to throw. Time, throws underneath, and going to pick up about 7, very close to a 1st down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and about half a yard for Texas A&M. No, they're actually going to give him the 1st down. So they're going to review this. So they ruled a completed pass for a 1st down. They're going to take a look at it. 6:17 to go. 10-point game. So he's got to get to the 35. Watching it live, I thought he was just short. Yeah, he's short. This is a good look right here. It's not right down the line, but it's close enough. Yeah, he's short. So it'll be 3rd and about half a yard for Texas A&M. Again, I gotta think this is 4-down territory for A&M. 6:17 to go, 10-point game. So 6:17 to go. We still wait for this. This is a pretty easy call. I'm not sure what's taking so long. He's going to be about half a yard short. What? How do you keep a 1st down? I have no idea. How you keep the 1st down right there. Doesn't make any sense. But they give Texas A&M the 1st down. I have no idea how that's a 1st down. But apparently it is. Reed looks to throw here. Reed steps in with throw over the middle. Caught. Open receiver Concepcion to the 45-yard line. And a 1st down for Texas A&M inside Texas territory. A&M's going to get on the ball quickly as well. I mean, you kind of got to pick up the pace at this point. Reed looks to throw, steps up, steps into pressure, and he's taken down for a sack. He lost 2, and it's 2nd and 12. So 2nd down and 11. Reed to throw once again. Has time. This time he throws underneath to Ashton Bethel Rowan. And we'll gain 11 and a first down for Texas A&M. 5:15 to go. Clock still runs. Bethel Roman 2 for 17 today. Ball on the 36. Reed and shotgun back to his left. Reed looks to throw. Plenty of time. Throwing to the outside. Melvin Orstrom makes the catch for a gain of about 4. And he gets it out of bounds. That stops the clock with 5 minutes to go. Oh, no, wait a minute. Why is the clock running? Let the clock stop when you went out of bounds. Under 5 minutes. Apparently not. Clock now running, 4:45 to go. Reed and shotgun, E.J. Smith to his right. From the Texas 33. Reed looks to throw. Rolling to his left. Reed on the run. Going to try to run it here. And Marcel Reed can pick up about 5, maybe 6. Going to be a little bit short for first down. A&M down to 4:20 to go. Still a 10-point lead for Texas. So Reed and shotgun back to his right. It's 3rd down and 2. They're going to hand it off here. E.J. Smith straight ahead. Has a first down. Smith gets it inside the 20. He's slammed to the ground at the 18. 4 minutes to go. You do have to score quickly if you're Texas A&M. Because you only got 2 timeouts as opposed to 3. Reed looks to throw. Reed throwing over the middle. Oh, it's intercepted! Marcel Reed gets picked off at the 2-yard line. Michael Taft with the interception. Wow, that is a huge, huge takeaway. That might seal this game for Texas. It's a 10-point game with 3:41 to go. And now Texas gets the ball back. Oh, wow. That is a huge interception right there by Marcel Reed. Wow. That is a huge play. I mean, Reed gets pressured. He just tries to throw this ball into a very tight window. Which, I mean, even if there's no pressure, he's never going to get it there. And Texas takes over at the 2-yard line. Maybe the 3 if they're lucky. Wow. Your best bet if you're Texas A&M right here is a safety. Manning, hands up. Always got to get it out of there. Okay, he does. Weisner falls forward. But he lost a yard back to the 2-yard line. So 3:33 to go. Texas A&M also called their second timeout. So I was just thinking about this, where Texas A&M would drop if they lose, which they probably would. That they would drop behind Georgia to 4, because Georgia, they destroyed Texas 35-10. Texas would then have beaten A&M, so A&M would go to 4, I think. I don't think they should drop any further. I drop them to 4. And now, an A&M loss is going to put Georgia into the title game next week against either Alabama or Ole Miss. They'll play Ole Miss if Alabama loses to Auburn. They'll play Alabama if Alabama beats Auburn. Another handoff up the middle here. This time they got some positive yards. Gain about 3 up to the 5. Texas makes the playoffs with a win. I don't know. That's the hard part. I don't know if they get there. They're 16 right now. But the 3 losses, I think, is what hurts them. Even though I don't know if it really should, because when you look at their losses, it's against the number 1 team, the number 3 team, and and Florida. Right. So here's what I think. I don't think you should punish them for losing to Ohio State non-conference that much, right? Because you went on the road, Arch Manning's first road start, first game of the year, and you lost by 7 against what is clearly the number 1 team. I don't really think that's that bad of a loss. The Georgia loss isn't great because you lost by 25. The Florida loss is what really hurts them. And I mean, if they're punishing Alabama for the Florida State loss, back down to number 10, I think you have to acknowledge the Florida loss is equally as bad, if not worse. So I don't think Texas should make the playoff, but I do think if they ended up beating Florida and say they lost to A&M, I think they should have made the playoff. But I mean, it's an interesting debate, and I don't love that debate for Notre Dame, especially if Michigan beats Ohio State tomorrow. Then I am truly scared if we'll make the playoff or not. But it's a 4th and 7 here. By the way, that run was for no gain. Or pretty much no gain. But the punt is away here, and this punt is going to be caught by KC Concepcion at the 50. And he can try to get to the outside, and then he'll cut back inside, and he's taken down at the 43. So A&M has great starting field position, but they're going to need an onside kick. There's no way around that at this point. So 2:32 to go in the 4th quarter. So Reed in shotgun. Going to look to throw. Marcel Reed given time. Throwing outside. Oh, he threw another pick. It's picked off again. That's going to seal it. This time it for sure doesn't. Marcel Reed is picked on back-to-back pass attempts. And Texas is going to upset Texas A&M and win 27-17. Wow, there's a flag down now. This might be on the celebration or after the play. So it does go against Texas, but it's after the play. And it's still a 1st down for Texas. I mean, this is just not a good throw or decision. Mario Curver tries to turn into a defensive back and just knock it down. That is not good right there from Marcel Reed. Well, why couldn't Marcel Reed play like this at the end of the game against Notre Dame? Then there'd be no debate if Notre Dame's in the playoff or not. But Texas, they outscored Texas A&M 24-7 in the second half. Arch Manning goes 6 of 8 for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. And they also pick off Marcel Reed on back-to-back plays. And now Trey Wisner runs ahead for a gain of about 7. But man, what a win this is going to be for Texas. They can take it to the 2-minute warning right here. But they go to the 2-minute, or they go to commercial here at the 2-minute warning, or as they call it, the 2-minute timeout. But let's see. Texas at 9-3, right? They're gonna win this game, obviously. And you start comparing them. It really also is gonna depend on what a lot of teams do ahead of them. Right? I think this win makes them easily jump Vanderbilt because they have the head-to-head win over Vanderbilt. But now here's a problem: if Michigan beats Ohio State, you can't put Texas over Michigan because Ohio State beat Texas. Michigan would have beaten Ohio State. So that's a problem they can run into. I still think they should be behind Alabama and Notre Dame, right? I mean, yeah, you can make the argument they should be above Notre Dame because Notre Dame lost to A&M by 1. And Texas is going to beat them by 10. But Notre Dame also didn't go out and lose to Florida. I would put Texas right now, assuming, I mean, Miami winning's not even a walk. But Utah, they already won. They're 10-2. Assuming Vanderbilt wins, let's assume Ohio State beats Michigan. And let's, for the sake of this, say Miami beats Pitt. I put Texas to 12. Behind BYU, ahead of Miami. Although, if you want to get technical about this, technically, South Florida beat Florida. Miami beat South Florida. Texas lost to Florida. So you could say Miami should be ahead of Texas. But I mean, yeah, this is a great win for Texas, but I just don't know how much you can jump them. Like, they should not be... And Texas fans are going to try to make the argument, say they should easily be in the playoffs because they beat Oklahoma by 20. And Oklahoma's going to be a playoff team. But I say Texas should only move up a few spots. Put them at 12 or 13. I mean, obviously a lot depends on what happens tomorrow, right? Does Miami beat Pitt? Does Vandy beat Tennessee? Does Michigan beat Ohio State? A lot depends on that, but assuming the favorites win right now, meaning Vanderbilt... Is Vanderbilt even favored? But meaning Vanderbilt, Ohio State... No, Tennessee's actually the favorite. But, alright, so assuming Vanderbilt even loses. But Texas, they're jumping Vanderbilt. That doesn't really matter. I have no idea where to put them. I said 12 or 13, but that doesn't seem like you're expecting enough for the win, but... It kind of does when you consider they also lost to Florida, who's like 3-8 or whatever. Yeah, Florida's 3-8. They might be 3-9 after tomorrow when they play Florida State. Another handoff here. Wisner breaking free. He crosses the 40. Wisner crosses the 50. And will swat at the 48. I think they just missed the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how high you can put them. They're going to need some help. They need Miami to lose. But I think they need more than the chaos from 12 to 15. They need Ohio State to beat Michigan. They need Alabama to go out and lose to Auburn. They need Oklahoma to lose to LSU. They need a lot of things to happen. And I mean, as it is, they'll be the last team in as an at-large. Alright, so here's the resume comparison right now. Texas A&M would be 2-2 against top 25 teams, which would be the same winning percentage as Miami, who's 1-1. I don't know, man. That's a really interesting conversation. Yeah, the Florida loss is what's really hurting Texas. Because if they don't have that loss to Florida, right? Let's say they have losses to Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas A&M, and they beat Vanderbilt, they beat Florida. I mean, yes, they don't really have those quality wins. Or Oklahoma, right? They have the Oklahoma win. They should be in the playoff if they didn't lose to Florida. That's what I'll say. Right, because you have the bad losses, or you have the bad loss to Florida. But if you don't have that, you have the good losses to quality teams. Ohio State, Texas A&M. Hypothetically, they won this game, right? And then you'd have also the good wins against Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where the committee puts Texas. But they're going to go 9-3. A&M is only going to, I think, should only fall a spot. And this creates a real interesting conversation. It's going to be an interesting debate, that's for sure. Steve Sarkisian's going to make the argument right now for why they should be in. It is going to be an interesting argument. I still think it's Ohio State, Indiana, right? Assuming Ohio State wins tomorrow. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia A&M, then Texas Tech. That's 5. Oregon winning tomorrow is not a guarantee, but I do think it happens against Washington. They're 6. Ole Miss is 7. Again, Oklahoma I don't think is a guarantee. They're 8. Let's say they win. Then you got Notre Dame. They play Stanford. I don't want to be too confident, but Stanford's terrible. So, Notre Dame 9. Alabama 10. I picked them to lose to Auburn. So, that's a major upset. But I picked Alabama to lose. So, for the sake of this, let's say Alabama loses. That opens up the last spot for a potential BYU, Miami, or Texas. I would say Vanderbilt if they win, but Texas beat Vanderbilt. Don't really think they've got the case anymore. Because Vanderbilt already need a lot of things to go their way. Texas winning is one of the worst things that could have happened for them. But, I mean, it's going to be so interesting to see what they do. But, it makes an interesting debate. Obviously, there's still conference championship week, but that's also interesting because the committee doesn't like to penalize teams for losing then. They just like to reward teams for winning. Because you don't want to punish a team for playing an extra game, which, I mean, I get that. And even just thinking about it, a team probably shouldn't be punished that much if they lose to a close game in a conference championship because it's not a bad loss. You're losing to a good team in a close game on a neutral site, so it kind of does make sense. But, I just realized never changed to final. I mean, you guys know it's over. But Texas upsets Texas A&M 27-17. And man, does this make an interesting debate for the college football playoff. But that's going to do it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. Got a lot of content on the way. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.